What do you know about Exadata? Specify the advantages of using Exadata. Exadata in Oracle refers to the pre-configured combination of software and hardware specifically designed to provide a platform to run the Oracle database. Oracle Exadata is a modern framework intended to run the databases and scale out the database servers. Advantages of Oracle Exadata. Oracle Exadata includes an Exadata cluster that is compatible to deliver a consistent performance along with increased throughput. Oracle Exadata uses inter-instance and inter-instance parallelism that results in consistency though the load increases on the cluster. Explain the features of Exadata. Oracle Exadata is configured with many features in it. The features of Oracle Exadata are listed below. SmartScan in Exadata is a unique feature capable of enhancing the database's performance as many times as needed. A SmartScan helps in processing the queries and intelligently retrieves specific rows in the table. It applies to filter criteria and column projection, which is selection criteria. Smart Flash Cache. The Smart Flash Cache is a hardware component that delivers high performance configured in the Exadata storage cell server. The performance improved by using the read and write operations. Smart Flash Cache helps in holding the frequently accessed data. This would help in easy access whenever the users need the same data. This helps in avoiding the physical read by allowing the data to be read from the physical cache. IORM refers to Input-Output Resource Manager. IORM is specifically used to manage the I/O using the configuration information with the number of resources available. It helps in maintaining the incoming requests at a consumer group level. Storage Index. Storage Index is one of the features in the Exadata database machine, which is used to reduce the I/O amount for an Exadata SmartScan. EHCC refers to Exadata hybrid columnar compression, which helps in compressing the data at the column level in a table. It helps create the compression data units, including logical grouping of the columns from the available multiple rows. List the key hardware components of Exadata. How do you test the performance of Exadata? The following are the key hardware components of Exadata. Database server. High-speed InfiniBand switch. Cisco switch. Storage server cells. The performance of Exadata can be tested using the calibrate commands at the Selkly command line. How to upgrade the firmware of Exadata components. The firmware of the Exadata components can be upgraded using the ILOM of the database or cell server. Explain the term ASR. What are the prerequisites to be followed to configure ASR? ASR refers to Auto Service Request, a tool that is designed to manage the Oracle hardware. The Auto Service Request tool will automatically raise a service request when any issues arise with respect to the hardware. Based on the request sent, it will send the appropriate notification to respective customers. The following are the prerequisites to be followed to configure ASR. Access is required to My Oracle support. Establishment of Internet connectivity using HTTPS. Establishment of network connectivity from the ASR server to the Exadata components. Which environment do you think is the good fit for Exadata? Briefly explain the different Exadata configurations. Exadata is good for the environment, which includes data warehouses. Further, the enhancement is done to be used in the OLTP databases as well. There are different Exadata configurations designed by Exadata. They are full rack, half rack, or quarter rack. The full rack configuration includes 6 CPUs per node, Intel Xeon 5670 processor, 8 database server nodes. The half rack configuration includes 6 CPUs per node, Intel Xeon 5670 processor, for database server nodes. 7. Explain what you mean by cell and grid disk. How do you obtain information on the cell disks? Can I have multiple cell disk for one grid disk? Cell and grid disk represents the logical part of the Exadata storage. The disk drives are used to store the data. Cell disk is the combination of all the disks together to store the user data. Every cell disk is linked with the logical unit, which includes 12 hard disk drives that are mapped to it. Grid disks are presented to the ASM and ASM disks that are built upon the cell disks. Grid disks include the space allocation that is available in the outer tracks of the cell in chunks. The list cell disk command can be issued at the celcli command to obtain the information on the cell disk. No, cell disk can have multiple grid disk, but grid disk cannot have various cell disk. What is meant by a storage index? Give a brief explanation of the working of the storage index. Is manually intervening possible in the storage index? Storage index is the feature available in Exadata used to reduce the amount of I/O required to service the requests. The storage index includes both maximum and minimum value, up to 8 columns. Storage indexes are never written to the disks and they are used to filter the required data. Storage indexes can be stored only in memory. No, it is not possible to intervene in the storage index. What are the options available to update the cell_flashcake for any object? How do you enable the flash cache compression? There are 3 different options available to update the cell_flashcake for any object. They are listed below. Default. Keep. None. The cell_flashcake compression is enabled by using the following. Command, cellcli alter cell flash cache compress equals true. What are the different ways available to migrate onto Exadata? Multiple ways are available to migrate onto Exadata. These are dependent on the downtime. They are listed below. Oracle Data Guard. Table space transportation. Traditional export/import. Golden Gate replication after the data is restored onto the Exadata. 11. Why is celcli used? Explain the difference between CLI and celcli. Celcli refers to the cell command line utility. By using the celcli utility, cell storage can be managed. It is the cell storage that is used to administer the cell storage. It includes different commands like celcli alter, celcli create, celcli list, celcli drop. DCLI refers to the distributed command line utility. It is the command line utility specifically designed to replicate command on database servers and multiple storage. What are the different networks available in Exadata? What are the different operating systems that Exadata supports? There are 3 different networks available in Exadata. They are listed below. Management network specifically used or Exadata hardware management. Public/client network, public or client network specifically used for application connectivity requirements. Private network, the private system specifically used for storage connectivity and cluster interconnectivity. Exadata is designed to provide its extensive support for operating systems like the Linux operating system and Solaris. Differentiate between IORM and DBRM? DBRM stands for Database Request Module, a traditional database model that allows representation of SQL statements in a serial format in a program. IORM stands for Input-Output. I/O resource is a tool specifically designed for management of the multiple databases and workloads by sharing the I/O resources of the Oracle Exadata system software. If you have any doubts on Oracle Exadata, then get them clarified from Oracle Exadata industry experts on our Oracle Exadata tutorial. What is DBFS? What are the steps to be followed to create DBFS? DBFS stands for Database File System, which helps create a standard interface represented in the form of files and directories in the database tables. The following are the steps to be followed to create DBFS. Creation of directory. Creation of tablespace on the database that you are going to use for the database file system. User creation for the database file system. Grant or give the required permissions or privileges to the user profile that has been created. Establishing connectivity with the database to the created user. Creation of the DBFS file system by invoking dbfs_create_filesystem_advanced. Mounting of the system by starting dbfs_client. Which migration methodology is available if you want to migrate from high-endian to low-endian OS architecture? The following is the migration methodology that is available to migrate from high-endian to low-endian OS architecture. Golden Gate. Transportable table space. Incremental transportable table space. Data pump. What do you mean by EHCC? What are the different types of EHCC available? EHCC refers to Exadata hybrid columnar compression used to perform compression of the data in the database. There are different types of EHCC available. They are listed below. Query low. Query high. Archive high. Archive low.